All right, so today we're going to be adding and subtracting rational numbers. So rational numbers are fractions, decimals, negatives, positives. So the first example we're going to do is negative 0.4 plus 1.3. So since the signs are different, it's going to be like subtracting, and you take the sign of the greatest absolute value. So you do 1.3 minus 0.4. You borrow, make a 0, 13, and that'd be 9. So the answer would be 0.9. It'll be a positive because my 1.3 is greater than negative 0.4. All right, so now you try one. So now you have negative 1.2 plus 0.3. So you still subtract. So you're going to do 1.2 minus 0.3. Borrow 12. 9 again, 0.9. But this time it's going to be a negative because this is the greatest absolute value. So the answer would be a negative. All right, let's try again. So now we have negative 4.5 minus 5.2. So I'm going to write this out just a little bit so I can see it. And I taught you like this way. So you can circle it. So it'd be negative 4.5. And now I'm going to circle this one. I'm going to make that a negative 5.2. I'm going to add those together. So since they have the same sign, I just add them. So you're going to do 4.5 plus 5.2. It's 7. It's 9. So it equals negative 9. Oops, sorry, guys. Negative 9.7. Okay, so you try one. And let me write it out a little bit bigger for y'all. All right, so now you try one. All right, so same idea. So you circle, and you add. So you're going to do 3.4 plus 4.2, 6, 7. So that'd be a negative 7.6. So now we're going to do 3/8 minus 1/16. So when you subtract fractions or add fractions, you have to have a common denominator. So my denominator is 8 and 16. So I got to figure out a way to have a common denominator. So I know if I multiply 8 by 2, I can get to 16. So that's what I'm going to do. So what you do at the bottom, you have to do it to the top. So I'm going to have 6 over 16 minus 1 over 16. Subtract it. And when you subtract, the bottom stays the same. So that'll just be 16. So you just have to do 6 minus 1, which is 5. So now you try one. So now you have a common denominator. And you got to change the 5 to 10. So by multiplying that by 2. So now you have 4/10 minus 1/10. And the denominator stays the same, so it'll be 10. So now I have to do 4 minus 1, which is 3. Okay, so now we're going to subtract mixed fractions. So we have 2.5 minus 4 1/4. So you have to change that. So I'm going to change 2.5 to improper. So by doing popcorn, so you multiply and then add. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So it'll be 5 over 2. You're going to do the same thing over here. Popcorn. So 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17. So it'll be 17 over 4. But then you have to have a common denominator. So they both share a common denominator of 4. So I'm going to multiply this by 2, multiply this by 2. So now I'm going to have 10 over 4 minus 17 over 4. Subtract that. The 4 stay the same. So you just do 10 minus 17, which would be a negative 7. And I'm going to leave it as negative 7 over 4, but generally you would change it back to a mixed fraction, but I like to be improper. All right, so now you try one. You're going to do 1/3/8 minus 3 5/16. Okay. So we're going to change 1 3/8 to a improper fraction. So 1 times 8 is 8, plus 3 is 11, so it'll be 11/8. You're going to do 3 5/16. So you're going to do 3 times 16 and then add 5. So 3 times 16 is 48 plus 5 is 53. So you're going to be 53 over 16. So you have to have a common denominator. So you're going to multiply this by 2. So you're going to get 22 over 16 minus 53 over 16. So you equal that. So the 16 stays the same. So then you're going to do 22 minus 53, which is 31, but that'd be a negative 31. And again, that's improper, so you could change it to a mixed, but I'm going to leave it as improper. All right, thank you guys.